Ladies and gentlemen, Raider Nation, can you feel that electricity in the air? It's October in the AFC West, and just when you think the drama can't get any thicker, the Las Vegas Raiders drop a bombshell of roster moves that could light a fire under this team's defense. Picture this, Allegiant Stadium, that gleaming silver spaceship in the desert, packed with black and silver warriors ready to charge into battle. But before we hit the gridiron for the next clash, let's talk about the shakeup that's got everyone. From the die-hard tailgaters in the black hole to the casual fans sipping lattes in Henderson, buzzing. The Raiders just made 3 key transactions, folks, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss the spark that turns this season around. I'm your host for this silver and black spotlight, and trust me, we've got layers to unpack here. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into what this means for the Raiders' quest to reclaim their throne in the West. Let's start with the headline that's dominating the feeds. The Las Vegas Raiders have signed linebacker Jon Rhattigan off the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad and added none other than Jamin Davis to their own practice squad. To make room for these fresh legs, they parted ways with quarterback Jeff Driscoll from the practice squad. Yeah, you heard that right. 3 moves in one fell swoop, all aimed at bolstering that ferocious Raiders defense that's been the talk of the league since Max Crosby started terrorizing quarterbacks like it's his day job. Now, I know what you're thinking, another practice squad shuffle? What's the big deal? Oh, my friends, in the NFL, these are the chess moves that win championships. Remember 2021, when the Raiders scooped up Yannick Ngakoue mid-season and he sacked his way into our hearts? This feels like that kind of vibe, calculated, hungry, and oh-so-Raider. First off, let's spotlight Jamin Davis, the 26-year-old former first-round stud who's bounced around like a pinball but could finally find his groove in the desert. Drafted 19th overall by the Washington Commanders back in 2021 out of the University of Kentucky, where he was a tackling machine for the Wildcats, racking up over 140 stops in his college career. Davis burst onto the scene as a raw, athletic freak. At 6'3", 240 pounds, he's got the size to stuff the run and the speed to chase down scrambling QBs. But let's be real, his pro path hasn't been a straight shot to glory. Washington declined his 5th-year option in April 2024, waived him that October, and since then, it's been a whirlwind. A stint on the Packers practice squad, a quick hop to the Vikings active roster where he flashed with 9 games, 18 tackles, and his first sack of the year. Wait, make that 8 career sacks now, including that beauty on Kirk Cousins earlier this season. Then the Jets claimed him, only to cut him post-preseason. Talk about a roller coaster. In 2024 alone, split between Washington and Minnesota, he suited up for 9 games, notching those 18 tackles and showing glimpses of that first-round pedigree. Why the Raiders? I chatted with a scout buddy of mine, off the record of course, who says it's simple: Davis is a coverage linebacker in a league gone pass-happy. With Patrick Graham calling the shots, he fits like a glove in that 3-4 scheme, rotating behind Divine Deablo and Robert Spillane. And get this, Davis isn't just stats on a page. He's got that Raider grit in his blood. Born on a military base in Honolulu to Army parents, he grew up moving around, learning resilience the hard way. His childhood nickname? Shadow, after the Sonic the Hedgehog character, fitting for a guy who shadows ball carriers all game long. Imagine him out there at Allegiant, the torch-lit flames roaring, chasing down a Chiefs back like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Chills, right? If he clicks, he could be the missing piece in a linebacker room that's already stacked with guys like Tommy Eichenberg and the veteran Terrell Edmonds. But it's not all roses. His coverage grades have dipped below 60 on PFF charts lately, so the coaching staff will need to polish that diamond. Still, at 26, he's got youth on his side, and in a division where Patrick Mahomes throws lasers like it's confetti, we need every coverage drop in the bucket. Now, shifting gears to Jon Rhattigan, another 26-year-old linebacker with that underdog story we Raiders fans crave. This guy's a Seattle Seahawks undrafted free agent from 2021, straight out of Army, where he embodied the Black Knights smashmouth tradition. Senior year at West Point? 78 tackles, 9 for loss, 1.5 sacks, 2 picks. Numbers that scream NFL ready if you squint past the Service Academy label. Rhattigan's journey is pure Hollywood, waived by Seattle in 21, re-signed to their practice squad, elevated for games, then IR'd with a shoulder tweak. He bounced back in 22, only to hit PUP and reserve lists, and by 23, he was waived again but clawed his way onto the practice squad. This off-season, he latched onto the Steelers squad, learning from studs like TJ Watt and Patrick Queen. Stats-wise, he's light on NFL snaps, fewer than 50 career, But when he plays, he hits like a freight train. Think of him as depth insurance, the kind that steps up when injuries hit, like they did last year when the Raiders lost Luke Masterson for half the season. To clear the deck, the Raiders waved goodbye to Jeff Driscoll, the 32-year-old journeyman QB who's been everywhere from San Francisco to Arizona, Houston, Detroit, even a cup of coffee with the Browns. Drafted 6th round by the Niners in 2016 out of Florida, where he backed up Tim Tebow, no less, Driscoll's got that cannon arm but a 1-11 record as a starter across 25 games. He joined the Raiders practice squad just last month, serving as emergency depth behind Geno Smith, who's been slinging it with mixed results this year. Over 1,800 yards already, but those turnover woes Mike Mayock called out on Westwood One? Oof. Driscoll's exit stings a bit. He's got ties to new OC Chip Kelly from their Niners days, and at 6'4", 231, he was a solid practice foe for the defense. But in Raiderland, it's about priorities. Offense takes a back seat when the D needs reinforcements. Alright, let's zoom out and analyze what this means tactically, because folks, the Raiders' defense under Patrick Graham is a beast, but it's got chinks. At 1-3 heading into Week 5 against the Colts, after that gut-wrenching 25-24 loss to the Bears where a late field goal could have flipped the script, the Silver and Black sit third in the AFC West. The Chiefs are cruising at 4-0, Mahomes dissecting secondaries like a surgeon. The Chargers, with Justin Herbert looking sharper than ever, are 2-2, and even the Broncos are nipping at heels with rookie QB buzz. Our Raiders. They've allowed just 22 points per game, third best in the AFC, thanks to Max Crosby's league-leading 6 sacks and Christian Wilkins clogging lanes like he's possessed. But the linebacker spot? It's been a revolving door, Spillane's tackling everything that moves, but Deblo's missed 3 games with a hamstring tweak, and Eichenberg's still green. Now, let's make it personal with some voices from the trenches. Picture this. I caught up with head coach Pete Carroll after practice. Hypothetically, of course, but his energy's infectious. Jameen and John, they're hungry, they're smart, and they fit our culture, Carroll beamed. And tying it to the world outside the huddle? With pop culture buzzing about Sonic movies, Davis's old nickname winks at that. Imagine a promo with him dodging badniks on the Jumbotron. Or current events. As Vegas hosts the Formula One Grand Prix this weekend, the city's speed fever matches our Raiders Blitz packages. It's all connected. Excitement, innovation, that Sin City swagger. Phew, what a ride, huh? But here's the call to action, Raider Nation. Tune in Sunday as we take on the Colts in Indy, Geno versus Anthony Richardson, a QB showdown for the ages. Stream it on Paramount+, cheer from the stands, or fire up the grill in your backyard black hole. Follow us here for every sack, every story, because together, we're unstoppable. Just win, baby. This is your Silver and Black anchor, signing off, but remember, the commitment is real, and so is our fire. Until next time, keep the faith.